Hi everybody, Alex Deploy here from Expert Forex, and in today's video I'm going to tell you about the Money Finder indicator, which you can download today, which is going to make a huge difference to your trading results. Now, before we go look at the indicator, I just want to tell you a bit about this Trading in the Zone book. It is a book that's most probably 25 years old. It was my trading Bible when I started trading, and it's all about the psychology of trading and the approach that you take to trading that determines your success. And there are 5 fundamental truths that Mark Douglas talks about in his book, and here they are. I'm not going to go through them in detail, but essentially what he says is that every trader should have an edge in the market. An edge is simply something that gives you above average chances of success. And my edges have been, for instance, divergence on the RSI trendline violations. Those have given me an edge in the market that has really been very lucrative in my particular career. Also, being expert at support and resistance levels and that type of thing give you an edge in the market. And here's another quote from Mark Douglas. He says, if I had to still trading down to its simplest form, I would say that is pattern recognition and a numbers game. So statistics, probabilities, and pattern recognition are the keys to successful trading. We use market analysis to identify patterns, define the risk, and determine when to take profits. A trade either works or it doesn't. So he's also saying probabilities play a role. If you have a 60% success rate, it means that you are failing 40% of the time, and that shouldn't worry you, because trades either work or they don't. And then when you realize that trading is simply a probability game, concepts like right or wrong or win or lose no longer have significance, because your ego is no longer involved. And another example of that was the coin spinning exercise that Barry Thornton mentions in his book, The Long Candle. He says, okay, if I pay you $1.50 every time you spin a coin and it lands on heads, and you pay me $1 every time it spins and lands on tails, how many times are you going to spin that coin? And are you going to worry about the tails that you spin? And the answer, I think, is obvious. You'll just keep on spinning and spinning and spinning, and he'll be paying you money and you'll be paying him money, and obviously you'll end up with more money in your pocket. And that's basically a simple model for trading. So pattern recognition is important, and one of the major patterns that successful traders have become very wealthy on is knowing when the market is ready to be traded and knowing when not to trade the market. Very important pattern. It gives you the edge in the market. It gives you a chance to produce above average results, and that's all that Mark Douglas was saying. Have an edge and use that edge. So one of the biggest edges that we developed very early in our careers, we knew when to trade. Don't fish where there are no fish, when they're not biting. Fish where the fish are biting. Knowing the time of day when to trade is highly important. Now, when I made this extract, it was actually at the worst time. You would never trade when volatility in the market is low, when the market is basically what we call sleeping. You want to trade a market that's wide awake, and when it's wide awake, it's at its highest volatility. And this is an extract from MATAF. This is the hourly volatility of the euro, and you can see how the euro peaks at certain times of the day and sleeps at certain times of the day. So you trade at the times when it's peaking, and the actual secret is you trade just before those times, but don't tell anybody that I told you that. This has been the way that I have been determining volatility. It's a bit crude and most probably not as detailed as I would like it, but it has served me pretty well over the last few years, and I'm really thankful for Mataf to that has produced this particular tool. We then went away with EA Factory and said, can we improve on this tool? Okay, so what we did is we created an indicator that actually sits on your chart. So you don't have to look at Mataf and then look at your charts or whatever. It actually sits on your chart, so you know exactly where you are at all times. And it gives the exact same information that Mataf gives. It shows the peaks of the particular currency for that over the last 24 hours, and as you can see, it repeats the pattern over and over depending on the chart that you're using. I'm using the Euro 1 hour chart, and what it's saying is it peaks at those times, and if you put your cursor on the time, and then you can see it's 1500 hours and 1600 hours. That's when it peaks, and it also has a peak there at 10 and 9. We've transferred that information to your chart so that it sits on your chart. Also, what I've added here is a moving average. So we've done a moving average of the settings, and what that moving average does is it actually sort of isolates the times you shouldn't be trading and when you should be trading. So for instance, what I like to think about it is that if the bars are above the moving average, those are times that you want to trade, and when they're below the moving average, those are times that you don't want to trade. Just a very rough guide, but it helps your eyes see the times that are good. And you can do all of this is settable. So you can see I've got levels that I've entered here, 5 and 10 and 20, and I'll just go into the actual EA and show you that I'm looking 5 weeks back. You can go 10 weeks back if you want, or whatever. I'm looking 5 ways back. And the volatility average, that's that red line that you see there. I've got it set for 3. You can set it for whatever you want. 3 is very sensitive, and that's what I want. I want sensitivity, but you can use 12 or 15 or even 21 if you like. And we're telling the indicator to look 500 bars back. So that's how simple the indicator is. You just say how many weeks you want to go, what your volatility average should be, the red line, and then how many bars back you want to go. Then the other thing that you can do is you have colors. You can set the bars to have different colors to what I've got, and you can also set the line to be a different color to what you have. Then you can set the levels, and I've got my levels set for 5, 10, 20, 30, and 40. You can set those levels for what you want. Now, the levels play a big role, and I'll show you why they play a big role, is that when you start comparing currencies, then you'll also see the difference. So, for instance, if I had to turn this into, now just note, this is the euro, the top level is 22. I'm going to just change this. We'll take the pound Oz, put that on the chart, and suddenly you can see the volatility of the pound Oz is double that of the euro. You can also see which hours the pound Oz is more active in, and that type of thing. So you can go and play around with this indicator, use it on different time frames and that type of thing. Let's go back to the euro again. Okay, so we're on the euro. Now, what I'm going to show you that's fantastic about this indicator that also puts it ahead of the Mataf. Firstly, we have these levels where you can compare your currencies with. We have this moving average that gives your eye an idea of when you should be trading and when you should be not trading. And the other thing is we can now get a lot more accurate as to what times we should be trading, because these bars currently are 1 hour bars, but we can drill down now into any time frame we want. So I'm going to just go down to the 15-minute for the euro, and then suddenly it refines tremendously. Now you can actually see the exact time the exact time that the peaks happen. So for instance here 15:30, that's an exact time. Look at this, and that's outstanding compared to the others. That's 9:45, and this is 17:45. So you can now tell the exact time, and if you go down to the 5 minute, you could even find an even more exact time, like for instance there, that's exactly 15:30 is the average time where there's a lot of activity in the market based on the euro. And I think that is in fact the time when the market closes in the afternoon, the UK market closes in the afternoon. Just a note here, if you see these red specks here, it means that the indicator is running out of history. In other words, there's not enough 15-minute history to do accurate calculations on this. So what you then do is you go into the indicator, I'll just go in there, and you just change the weeks that you're looking back. Maybe that should now become 4 weeks so that you've got enough history. But that's just a little sideline that warns you that the history is running out. So it's a very interesting indicator. You can load it on a number of charts and compare the charts and the volatility levels and things like that. And how you would use this, obviously, if you're a breakout trader or a trend trader, you would trade when the volatility is high. And let's just go back to the don't need that. I can go back to the 1 hour time frame. So if you're a breakout trader or trend trader, you would trade when the volatility is high. That is the time when it is likely that trends change. For instance, if you look here, there was a trend change. It was going up, it hit that area and started going down quite strongly. Up here, uptrend, went down strongly, uptrend, went down strongly. So those high volatility times can result in quite strong trends. Over here, downtrend, high volatility, uptrend. So it gives you an idea of when the action will happen in the particular market, when possible trend changes will happen, and you can incorporate that in your trading. This gives you another edge to your trading. So the next question is, where can you find this indicator? And the indicator is available on our Premium Advantage forum. It's a paid forum. It's $29.95 a month. And once you're a member of this forum, you can go and download these indicators. And there's a whole lot of other benefits, like you get special discounts and trade alerts and training, and what we're doing at the moment is we are beta testing a very interesting EA that only members of this forum can beta test. So you would go into the Premium Indicators and Robots, and there it is, the Money Finder. Know exactly when to enter trades with confidence. So there it is. I've just loaded. There hasn't been any views yet. I've just loaded it, and you can go and download this indicator from there. In this particular section, I'll just give you some more information. This is why you should be joining, and here are the downloads, a little bit more information on that download section. There are a number of these really great trading tools you can download. So it's not only access to that one indicator, you've got a whole lot of other indicators and EAs that you can download from that section. There are 8 there mentioned, but there are also 72 indicators downloaded that are downloadable. And the big thing about these indicators, they all have a video like I'm just making now, explaining exactly how the indicator works and how you would use it. So we've got 72 indicators which are video based and explain you how you need to use them. So there's a lot of advantages to being a member of this particular forum. So I hope you found this video interesting and gave you some ideas on how you could take best advantage of the trading market. It can also give you some ideas of why some of your trades have failed, in that you might have entered them at the wrong time of day, and you might be using currencies that have very low volatility, and their volatility spikes at different times of the day. Each currency has its own volatility profile. So from me, Alex Aploy, thank you for watching this video, and cheerio.